What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Gmacc. We got big Chuvs. We're here on a Sunday, December 22nd, noon. And it's time for episode number 4, baby. Giving you value as always. Pops, give me an intro. Tell them what's up. How you doing on this Sunday?
What's up, folks? I'm here. Press for time. You know how it is. We got to keep it moving. I got a golf outing right after this in Naples. For those who didn't know, I live in Florida. I live in Fort Myers. Nice and, it's warm enough out here so I can do some golfing in December on the 22nd. But now we're going to get into it. We got some interesting stuff to talk about. We got some situations we want to hit up, and we got some top stories that we want to cover for you guys. Whoever's not informed, you can get on this channel and get informed on everything we talk about and everything that's happening around the world. So with that said, let's get it going.
Yes, sir. Black and White podcast, baby. Every week, we're going to come at you with the videos. We got shorts. We're flooding the YouTube. We're flooding it. Let's go.
Black and White 101.
101. Yes, sir. Subscribe to the channel. So let's go. Let's start with we're going to do 4 topics. We got Lily Phillips. If you guys know the British thought, she's she did 100 guys. She did 100 guys in one day, which is haram. But everybody's been talking about that. I'm sure you guys have heard about it. We got some clips I'm gonna bring up from FitX. He's talking to these 20-year-olds, and they're just down bad, lazy, soft, and we're gonna get into the topics on why that is. And then for the last part, we're gonna talk about the drones in Jersey. We're probably like about a week late on it, but it's still a hot topic. Still questions it still answers. Questions haven't been answered yet. So we still got some digging to do on that topic. And for me, I live in Jersey. Chuv is from Jersey. So this topic, hits home because it's literally in my backyard.
Absolutely.
So let's get into topic number 1. This was about, I would say, almost a month ago now. We got Lily Phillips. She basically did a project where she tried and succeeded on sleeping with 100 men in one day. Now, obviously, this is very controversial. We got a lot of people, mostly obviously the feminists and women, saying that she can do this. She's single and she's just, experiencing life and, finding herself, blah, blah, blah. And then we got, the other side of people who say this is, despicable and shameful. And, there could be some dire consequences to this young lady's actions. So let's watch this clip that's quite interesting from the documentary. She's explaining what happened, throughout the experience and how she felt. And this is her being interviewed right after, she finished that 100th guy. And it's interesting. Just pay attention to her demeanor, everything about, how she's acting after she basically, in my opinion, just lost her damn soul. And, by sleeping with 100 guys. So it's interesting because she starts crying and, basically regretting the whole situation. And we'll get into it after I play the clip, but check it out.
People, like, imagine 40 people and be like, I'm not even halfway done.
When was the last time you ate?
I had I think I had a yam yam. Yam yam, is that what they're called? A little pastry. And I think I had a sandwich, and that was and then the rest come. It's not for the weak, girls, if I'm honest. It was hard. I don't know if I'd recommend it.
Why not?
I think if you're a different type of girl, it's very it's kind of like being a prostitute in a sense of it's just a different feeling. I don't know how to explain it.
It's not like just having sex with someone.
Yeah. Just one in, one out. It feels intense.
More intense than you thought it might.
Definitely.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. Just take
1 minute.
All right, so Pops, let me pause that right there, right? In that moment, you saw her, she was all, just explaining it casually. And then it seems like once it set in, when she like actually said the words of what she was doing, you know, it's intense, all these things. It might have hit her. That moment right there. What do you think that moment was?
Well, look, to be honest, what she's doing physically, she was there mentally before she even started doing that. In order to go into doing that, you've already got to be down mentally. You just have to be you're lost already. It just doesn't, you know, the physical thing, the physical aspect of it is she's just putting her emotions into physicalities. But she already lost all hope in herself to do this kind of thing. She actually realized then, as she's explaining it, what she actually did. I don't think she actually knew how deep it went until she started saying, well, let me break it down to you. And then she's basically breaking it down to herself and realizing, like, yo, this is me. I'm talking about me. And I think that's when it hit her hard, to where, you know, she just couldn't. But again, you know, this began before, you know, she was in bed with one guy. This was all in the head, and you know, she just, in her head, she just mentally just gave up.
100%. No, yeah, that was perfect take on that. I feel the same exact way. Once she said it out loud, and yeah, I realized that like what she's explaining is like what she just did. She's like, holy shit. And
Yeah.
what's next is pretty interesting to me too, because she explains the reason in her mind why she cries. And who knows, maybe, you know, because she's just a young girl, she literally probably still is, you know, processing and doesn't even understand why she's crying. So she might actually think that the reason she's saying she's crying is the actual reason, but we know the reason. But here it is.
I was not nervous. It was like the day before. I was like, oh, I'm so nervous. But it was good. It was more, I guess the interactions weren't like, I'd have to stop them early and like, you'd have to stand on business and be like, I'm so sorry, you got to go. And like the awkward interaction of like you feeling pressure to have to make them come if like you haven't spent enough time with them, and feeling like they didn't, like you didn't give them a good time because like they only got 2 minutes.
And that's what's making you feel emotional, is that maybe you think you didn't give some guys a good enough time today?
Yeah, and it's hard, I think, having the interactions with them when they're like, what, you're not going to make me finish? I've come all this way. Like, kind of like guilt tripping me a little bit.
So you see, she says basically she feels bad that she wasn't able to please everybody the way she promised them. And I guess some of these simps came out from a long way to get the experience. So based on her answer, do you think she really thinks that in this moment, or is she just, you know, using that as an excuse? But right now, she really just feels like a damn sex toy who was just used by 100 guys.
Well, the way she said it, it seemed like she has the, what do you say, like the
Victim mentality?
no, like a prostitute's mentality. Like they came here, they paid, and they're not getting their money's worth. You know, even though they didn't have to pay, but it's like, I'm doing something that's gonna, you know, eventually it's probably gonna get her a lot of money.
No,
You
yeah,
have,
they did pay too. They all paid to get there. I
oh, they
think
did?
she actually generated a few $1 million from this.
Oh wow! So yeah, so then she's thinking as a prostitute, like he's a customer and he wasn't satisfied. But I don't think that would make I don't think that would make somebody cry like that. And she's still going. She's still crying. She's still, you know, I think it's just a mix of things going around. Maybe, you know, that has something to do with it, but I don't think that's like the main focus of her crying. I think, you know, it's a little regret. You know, she's already done it, so you can't take it back. It's not like if she's going to stop halfway and be like, okay, I think this is wrong. So she's crying like, maybe, you know, I already went through with it. It's over. You know, it's basically, I spilled the milk. There's no, you know, why cry about it? After she cries about it, she's gonna be fine, and she's gonna do 1,000 dudes if she's gonna do it. Again, it's not breaking the law. It's basically just doing something that if she wants to become a regular person in the society, that's gonna harm her greatly. But besides that, you know, anyone can do it. Anybody can do it. It's just morally, she's going to be bankrupt, and just if who is going to go after that as a serious thought in a relationship, after they've seen these things, because eventually she might get married, but that person's probably going to find out, and if they know beforehand, it means he's the same way. So yeah, it's not unlawful, but yeah, it's just she's bankrupt morally. It's a shame.
Yeah, that's actually gonna lead me into the next question I was gonna ask you, which you already went into it. Is she's 23 years old. She did this. She's online. We're in the age of the internet, so the whole world is gonna freaking see this.
Oh
And
yeah,
for years to come, too. It's not just gonna stop here. In 5-10 years, all these videos are still gonna be up here. So you went into it a little bit, but I want you to go deeper. How do you think this is going to affect her future?
again, if someone didn't see this, and 10 years and 15 years, and they get together, and they're married, whatever happens, someone is gonna see her or him and say, hey, you know who this is? And he's gonna say, no, that's my wife. What do you mean? Oh, check this out. That kind of thing. It always comes out. Those things like that. They'll come out 20 years later, 30 years later, and you think it's swept under the rug, and it's not. And then that's gonna cause who that person is with is gonna cause them to be like, okay, I don't think so. I'm out. Or she's gonna have to just say it up front with every serious relationship that she's looking into, and then they're probably going to bounce. And if they don't, then that means that guy is just like her. So then they'll have a good relationship. But it's just mentally, she's always going to be that girl that did that in her mind. People that know her, it's going to be with. It's never going to go away. And hopefully, she does find someone that doesn't. It's like whatever. That was 20 years ago. That was the past. But it's very unlikely that that's going to happen, because guys, when they court a woman, and she tells you something like this, usually we're gonna bounce, because it's just, I don't want to go after 1,000 something guys. That's just the way we are. So I think it's 80-20 successful rate, 80 being the worst.
Yeah, no, 100%. And a good point that you bring up is guys, they're not going to want to, they find out whatever it is, a year, 5 years into the relationship, they find out what she did, they're definitely going to bounce, unless they're what we talk about, a simp, a dude who she's not going to respect, who's going to be like, oh, I don't care what you did. And his standards are so low that he's going to be like, oh, I'll take you. It's whatever.
Yeah,
It's okay or whatever, but if she actually wants to get a guy that she's gonna honor and respect, and build a family with, her chances are cooked.
yeah, that's not the guy she's gonna find.
Yeah, cool,
Yeah.
100%. Yeah, and then you basically answered the second question I was gonna ask. What's her chance of finding a husband that she actually respects and admires when she's older? And it's very little. She just
80-20.
yeah,
That's what I think.
shrunk that pool a lot by doing this stupid shit. But
Yeah.
and it's all funny now, right? She's getting the millions, and
Oh yeah.
and she's getting, but like they say, fast money comes with slow problems, and she's gonna experience that,
They're coming.
in the next few years. Yeah. Okay. That's cool. So we broke down this Lily Phillips video, which got broken down by a bunch of people. We got if you guys know Myron, pretty much all the red pillars. Broke that bad boy down. Let's go here to FedEx to this freaking scrub. This guy, man, reminds me of like the kid you went to the football practice with, and he would like just come in with a bandage around his ankle when it's perfectly fine, so he didn't have to like practice or play. He's just a lazy bastard. The guy who stood in the back of the line during the kickball. When you used to pick the teams, he was in the back because he didn't even want to be picked. He wanted to
Yeah.
just watch everybody play while he fucking ate his ice cream. But
Yeah.
this is, yeah, I want to bring up this topic. We got a lot of kids like this. It's crazy the way they're growing up. They're being raised by millennials and Gen Z now. So I guess their generation is called Generation Alpha. But I just want you, I'm gonna play this clip here. And I'll pause it, break it down, and I'll ask you some questions.
Like
All
one,
right.
this girl a picture and she just blocked me.
Because I wouldn't be. I will block you too. Stand up, stand up, stand up, Gio. Take your shirt off. Let's see what your body look like. Yeah. And you shocked that you blocked? You got rolls and your belly hanging. Look at that. You're 21 years old and you're obese. Are we in La La Land? We in the Lulu Land, bro? Like, you're not delusional, are you?
Nah.
Are you aware of your sexual market value?
Yeah. I mean, I slept with a couple girls, like 5.
Just pause. Lie. Let's continue.
You slept, okay. And were you attracted to them? Were they even attractive? No, it doesn't count. Stop counting women that you don't find attractive as.
Yeah.
Okay. Does your father like try to help you any of this stuff?
He tried, but I don't like working out because it hurts.
You don't like working out
Because it hurts. Yeah.
Oh, little boo boo. Oh, you need somebody to help you with working out because it hurts. Oh, guess what, buddy? Everything in life hurts. You're a man. Getting in good shape is gonna hurt. Going through rejection is gonna hurt. Learning how to make money is gonna hurt. You've been coddled too much in your life. You guys, the huge part of why you guys are the way you guys are is because you haven't experienced any adversity. A lot of men today are growing up with zero adversity. What is the hardest thing you have experienced in your life? Nothing.
Yeah.
You're fat, you're 21, you have a roof over your head. What are you even doing with your life? Are you in school?
No, I'm taking a couple gap years.
A couple of gap. How is your parents allowing you? There's no way in the world. You know you could be my son. I will be whooping your ass every day. You wouldn't be able to. You would be. How is that possible? How you get to afford to take a gap year? Did you go to high school?
Yeah, I got a high school diploma. Yeah.
And your parents are allowing you to stay in their home, and you don't you don't got to do nothing.
No, I'm unemployed. I just play games mostly and socialize and party.
What?
I'm just gonna pause it right there. Yo. So this kid, he's 21, lives with his parents. He's obviously very soft. He talks about he doesn't want to work out because it hurts. He obviously hasn't been through any adversity. FitX has very good points. You know, that's why these kids are soft, and it's mostly their parents' fault. They're basically letting them do this. They're enabling him. So I want to ask you, with this video, yeah, why basically like this kid, why is keeping, because you have your sons, obviously. And so what I want to ask you is, 1 second, why is it bad to keep your son, you know, basically away from adversity while growing up? Like, how is keeping him away from adversity and going through tough situations gonna affect his ability to operate in the real world?
Well, keeping him from adversity is you're impeding his level of understanding of how to solve things, of how to create anything. Because it's being solved for him and it's being created for him. So it's basically lay down, I'll chew the food, I'll throw it down your throat, and you just swallow it. You don't have to do anything. You know, adversity is something that, you know, I've been through all my life. You know, growing up in the ghetto, it was always like, you know, what can we do to make money legally? This, that. You know, when I got older, did some other stuff. But it's like we were always looking for it. You know, my mother, you know, single mom, I was out there just doing my thing, had 2 jobs, had my first car when I was like 17, 18 years old, moved out when I was 17, because I was just already used to grinding and getting it whenever. I just did whatever I had to do. These kids now, the parents are more, I think they're showing more emotion towards their kids. And so then it's causing their kids to hang on to their parents' emotion, and then just wait until something happens. And it's not going to happen. You have to make it happen. Like they say, how's it going? It's not going. You got to push it, basically. And these kids are just waiting for somebody to push it for them. And, it's just going to, at the end of the day, eventually they're going to have to go out there and do their thing. And they're just prolonging the, how you call it? Inevitability. Yeah, the inevitable, they're prolonging it and they're making it harder, because now you're gonna have to start doing this, but you never had practice. So now all of a sudden you're gonna jump into this world of, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. If I want a roof over my head, I gotta work. If I want a car, I gotta work. If I want to do, and they're gonna be like, well, where do I start? How do I start this? What do I do? Because they've never done it, and again, these kids, a lot of it doesn't have to do with them, it's their parents. But then it becomes, what kind of friends are you keeping? And if those friends are go-getters, you will become that. If they're not, then you're going to stay exactly where you are. And then, when you're 30, it's going to hit you like, holy crap. And that's when you're going to, try to get hurt somewhere and then get disability and not work and have the government take care of you and then, vote like they want you to. And it just starts from there. But some people wake up and it's harder, like I said, because they never had practice doing it while they were young. Me, I don't, I get up 5 a.m. Let's go, let's get it. But it's a lifestyle already. It's become something that's part of me. Even on my days off, I get up at that time because I already have it instilled in me. These kids, to get up at 5 o'clock, they'll get up and they'll go back to sleep at 5:05. That's the way it is, man. And then they'll wake up at 8 o'clock saying, "Oh, what's for breakfast?" Nah, it's gonna be hard. It's a shame, but at the end of the day, for your question, the answer is these parents are enabling these kids to a point where they're making these kids almost zombies, almost.
Yeah, no, that's crazy. Crazy take on that. 100% too, especially in the world right now where the competition is just getting harder and harder. Inflation's going up, things are getting more expensive, and now these kids are even lazier and lazier. It's like a recipe for them to just be completely decimated in every category. These kids aren't working out. Look, like you were out of your house by 17, grinding. This guy is. They said, "What do you do?" He says, "I play video games and I'm just unemployed." And he's just there, like you say, waking up probably 10 a.m., just opening up the fridge, seeing what's there. There's probably food there because his mom, needs his teddy bear to eat. And it's just, it's
Yeah,
it's kind of sad to see.
yeah, and a lot of these parents, just to justify what they're doing, they say, well, he needs a rest from school, or he needs he's just trying to find whatever he needs to find within himself, instead of just pushing him out the door and be like, go find it, it's out there, go get it. Like it's you're not going to find anything in here.
Exactly.
And it's hard for some parents to do that, because it's just again, it becomes emotional. And it's like, I can't put my son out like this. I can't do this. I can't do that. But little do they know that that's what's going to push him to be a better him.
That's the only thing that's going to push him to be a
Yeah.
better.
Yeah. And my mother didn't even have to do that. My mother asked, when I moved out, she was like, "Why are you moving out?" I'm like, "Because I want my independence. I want to be able to do what I want to do when I want to do it. And in order to do that, I got to go out there. I got to grind. I got to make my own money. I got to work 2 jobs. Working a night job overnight, and I was working a day job. And then, it got better. I made more money, got experience, this and that. Then I had choices of jobs. Next, I landed a bigger job, and then I got my own business, and that's how it works. But I was like, I'm out because that's who I am, and it's just from day one, I was out of there, and I made my own path. And to this day, I do what I do. Nobody tells me you can't do this, you can't do that. If I say I'm doing that, that's what I'm doing. But these kids have they don't have that, and their kids are not going to have it either, because it becomes a bloodline thing. It starts to go into your bloodstreams the way how you are, and it's a shame because it'll pass on to generations where laziness can pass on, just like you got animals, like dogs that are fighting dogs, and then the next generation is a fighting dog, next generation. Then after that, you don't have to make them fight. They're gonna grow up with that already, and that's the same thing with human beings. If you start doing this, you're breeding a certain type of male that is not a go-getter, and these days, they're making these women go-getters, and guess what? It's gonna flip. The script is gonna flip, and these women are gonna be the go-getters, and the guys are gonna be the punks. So
Exactly.
we got to stop that now. And these parents, they gotta take this boy and just get somebody for him, a friend that is a go-getter, and see if they can match him up with him, so he can take on that kind of skill and that kind of attitude, because he's not going anywhere.
Yeah, the people you keep around you, that's a major key. If you want to progress, I mean, if you surround yourself with people who are better than you, or if you want to get in shape and they're in better shape, they might clown you, and just shame you until you're just tired of it and you're like, I want to change. Or you
Yeah.
just might want to look like them. You're around them all the time and you see how maybe girls respond to them and talk to them. And you're like, I want that. So that's going to
Yeah.
make you better. But if you're around losers who are playing video games and they're all overweight, they're not gonna, help you get better. They're just gonna be right there with you, being a loser. The
Yep.
the group of losers. And a point that I wanted to bring up real quick is that a big reason, right? You left when you were 17, right? You said you're home.
Yeah.
So when you were growing up, did you always have your own bedroom?
No. No, I
Okay, cool.
didn't.
Did you always have heat?
No.
Okay. In the winter, yeah, no heat. In the summer, maybe no AC, windows only. A big reason why I feel like, people like you who grew up in harder situations get out early is because you were uncomfortable. Like everything, it wasn't just a plushy life to where you had no incentive to get out. So if let's say you had your own bedroom, you had AC, you had heat in the winter, there would be no reason for you to want to move, right? You'd be like, well, I got my own room, I got my TV, everything's taken care of, my mom pays all the bills. So that's what these kids are basically dealing with. They're all young, they don't have any responsibility, so there's no incentive to them. It's not bad enough, and then they're not uncomfortable enough to make a change. Because, like we say, that's the only way men are really going to change is if they're forced to. But if everything's good and dandy, like why are you going to leave that situation and go put yourself through working two jobs and to be independent when you're just comfortable being at home, living off your parents? That's a big reason, is that uncomfortable part, that factor.
Yeah, no, it is. But again, it's the parents, because as a father, when my kids are young, hey, go do the leaves, go cut the grass, go do some kind of responsibilities, so they can know how it is, so they can know what work is, what's sweating, and then getting their reward or whatever it was for doing that job. But it's a mentality that I had, so I was going to instill into the kids, into where it's like, you want something, you got to work for it. You don't just get it, and if you don't work for it, then you don't get it. And that was something that I was like, I'm always gonna do that.
Yeah,
And if they don't like it, they don't like it, too bad. But that's the way it is, because I know what they're gonna be facing out there. And
exactly.
right now they don't know it, but I'm training them to make it easier for them later. Even though they had a good upbringing, house, cars, all kind, but still, it's like, hey, there's a price for this. You need to go out there. You need to do something in order to be able to enjoy this stuff, just like I did, and eventually, it makes it easier for them. They might not know it, but it does, because when you go out there and you start grinding, it's like it becomes a natural thing, because it's like I had to do this when I was young.
Yeah, yeah.
So even though they didn't need it.
The roughness, the work ethic, all that. When you, as an adult, you understand that you're gonna need that. So that stuff is crucial. That makes you as a man. A kid like that who we just saw, you throw that kid out there, tell him to come back in a month, and he'll just get eaten up by the wolves out there. Like, he don't know what to do, how to operate, nothing. It's crazy. And that's a grown man, that's a 21-year-old man.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
and yeah, okay, so let me bring up this next one. We're pressed for time, so we'll make it quick. Boom, boom, boom.
Sure.
This is basically about the same kid, but you'll see the problem this kid has. He's 21 as well, about similar situation,
Okay.
living with his parents. But it's just, you hear how he comes off as just cocky, like, and this is a big problem. It's like these, my generation, everyone's entitled. Everyone feels entitled to something. Like, life should give them something. Like, they should have an opportunity just laying on their doorstep. And you'll see, like, kids like this, it's pretty crazy, pretty wicked mindset.
And then,
Right. So okay, so you get spurts of ambition to where you want to work. It's
yeah,
not
but I'm
really-
not gonna lie. Realistically, if I can, I would rather just not have a job and really get like a career popping. If I'm being honest, if I had to choose,
What does that even? That doesn't even make any sense. That sounds like a
you
very
can work towards a career without getting a job.
okay. Which career is going to hire you without any job experience, bro?
Yeah.
That's you can get a career without a job.
Which career is going to hire you without any experience?
Bro, you could do YouTube, you could do Twitch, you could do anything. What are you talking about? You
Okay,
literally
bro.
have a career right now without a job.
But no, I had a job before I got on YouTube. You're trying to skip the part about paying for your damn bills, sir.
I am trying to skip the part. You're right. I am.
That's not how it works. Everybody had to pay some bills first. You don't want to
Which
pay.
what you just talked about. You have to work those 2 jobs. You have to pay those bills. Like, you couldn't just do what you wanted at first. You got to grind out at the beginning.
Yeah.
The bill. Who's taking care of your apartment, your place, your mama, moms, pops? Who's taking care of the bills?
Nah, yeah, facts.
Okay, so yeah, you're lazy.
I'm not, man.
You're lazy. You're living with your mama at 21 years old, talking about you would. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. That's what you've been told,
That's not a
Terrence.
bad thing.
That's what you've been told.
I've not been told that.
Then how you know it's not a bad thing?
It's not.
Then if you've not been told that, then how you know it's not a bad thing?
Bro, there's people I've literally known people that have stayed in their parents' house longer trying to like develop themselves.
Okay, that means you've been told.
No, I've just seen it by example. And I've seen them get out the trenches of it. So
those people, where are they now?
They're in their own crib.
Okay. And how long did they stay in their house, their mama's house?
Like one person I know has been there since like they was there till like 24.
Okay, so you plan on staying with your mama until you're 24?
No, not really.
You see how you're looking? You're looking for every opportunity to do as little work as possible. The only people that you can remind yourself of are the people who stayed in their parents' house. What about the people who are 21 and own their own businesses, making millions already? Why you can't compare yourself to them?
I just did. You said you.
No. You said you know people that
I
are
said you can have a career without a job, and you said, "How am I going to do that without getting a hire?" And then when I brought it up, you went.
Who do you know personally that didn't have a job that now has a career making? Because you have ego without nothing warranted. You're like, you think that you could just, life is just supposed to give you shit. You got to suffer. You don't want to.
I don't think that.
Then if you didn't think that, you wouldn't be relying on your mama to pay your bills. You'd be out there every single day getting a job so you can take care of yourself as a man.
I just told you I go place to place to apply,
but you also told me that there's periods where you don't put in as much work to apply for jobs.
Yeah,
because you don't get nothing back.
Motivation is a thing.
Laziness is a thing. You are.
I agree with you wholeheartedly. Laziness is a thing, and I'm not saying I'm not lazy, but I'm also saying that demotivation happens.
No.
Okay, I'm just gonna end it there. So another prime example of this is 21. You can see how he's coming up with every excuse to try to justify why he's in the position that he's in. And even though you see the bad position he's in, living with his mom, I mean, he looks terrible. Like, he doesn't just take care of himself.
Yeah, you don't care.
No income, no job, and he still needs motivation.
And no girl, no nothing.
No girl. What else does he need to motivate him? Or is this guy just a loser, right? Like, you just have it's one or the other. Like, you can't be in this bad of a situation and still need motivation. You just don't want to progress. What are your thoughts?
it becomes a habit. It becomes a way of life. You see, like, like we wake up early in the morning, right? We wake up early, 5 in the morning, 4:30 in the morning, whatever it is, and it becomes something that we do every day, and it becomes normal. What he's done is he's done the opposite. He's become lazy to where this is his life. Like it to him, it's normal because he's made it that way, because he's done it for so long. It just becomes part of his schedule, part of his routine. Wake up whenever, talk to the guys who think like him. Yeah, because I want to see if I can get this career doing this, doing that. And then like, yeah. I'm probably gonna have to stay here for another 2 years, until I do this. And then they make each other feel good by saying exactly what each other wants to hear, because they both think alike. And then, at the end of the day, it just becomes, this is who they become. Like, it's, the motivation will not come because they have created a non-motivational way of thinking. Like,
Yeah.
and what makes them feel good is the plans that they have in their heads that they would never make real. But in their heads, it's like, yeah, I'm psyched because I'm doing this. I'm gonna. But it's just talk. It's just a talk and ideas. But they're literally sitting down saying that. And when they finish saying that and they're off the phone, they go to games or they go to lay down, take a nap, do whatever, and then 3 hours later they have another phone call with another friend, and then they bring up this stuff again, and they feel good about themselves. But it becomes like a soothing kind of thing, to where when they talk about something, they feel like they're actually doing it, but they're not. And then that creates a world of its own. And so then
exactly.
that's their world. Their world is
Talk
talking
about
about
what they're gonna do. Like,
yeah, yep, and they feel successful that way, and and they just never get up and do anything. So yeah, it's again, these guys, they need guys in their lives that are go-getters, and it's got to be somebody that they trust, somebody that they know, not just somebody from the street, because they're gonna be like whatever, and it's gonna take time, because
Yeah,
now you have to take that mentality and you have to get rid of it slowly, and then put that other mentality in there. And it's not overnight, because the way he is now, that didn't happen, in 6 months. That happened in 2 years. So it's going to take you 2 years to get that out of him, and let him see the success that he can be into. But unfortunately, he's a little way out, and it's gonna be real hard for him to get back on, because
yeah,
the gentleman said no experience, no nothing, and you think he's just gonna have a career.
yeah.
No, that's not, doesn't work that way.
He's trying to skip the part where he works his way up. He just wants to start out at the top. And then if I kept playing it further, he just keeps talking about, oh, like, if there's a will, there's a way. Like, I'm gonna find somehow. And the guy's like, all right, keep living in La La Land, man. But and it's, you said with the last guy, like, maybe when he does start, you're starting at 35 now. Now you're realizing at 35, okay, I got to grind and I got to be this way. It's like, it's too late already. And I guess not too late per se, but you wasted a lot
You're
of
way
your,
behind. You're
yeah,
way behind.
exactly. You're way behind. And
Way
that's,
behind.
and again, this comes back to this guy's parents. Like, what is his mom and dad doing, letting him be 21 with no job, looking literally homeless just
They're
now?
probably
Like,
Yeah, they're
again,
probably tired. They're probably tired of working hard, and they don't have time to talk to him about stuff. And so they just like, look, even if he's here or not, we're still going to pay our rent. We're still going to pay our light. We're still going to do this. We're still going to do that. So, if we have to do it with him in the house, it's not like if he's bothering us, he's staying out of our way. And they're just like, we just need to live our lives. And he's old enough, let him make his decision. But again, a lot of these parents say he's not costing us anything, in the sense of, we're gonna have to pay for this anyway if he's not here. So it doesn't matter, that kind of thing. But again, he's
they don't,
gonna
yeah, they don't
fall.
understand the damage that they're doing to him by letting him stay there. Yeah, it's
Yep,
crazy.
yep.
Yeah,
It's a shame.
and then just the last question on this topic: do you think somehow, whether it's for parenting, let's say more people like us, coming out, making podcasts, talking about these problems, do you think it could be reversed, basically? Like, the way men are going, the route that they're taking, becoming softer, weaker, just less educated, less everything. Do you think that this could somehow be reversed to where, enough people stop, being with the bullshit per se, and then just start being tough on these kids? You know what? You're getting out now at 21. Do you think we could reverse this movement, or is it just going to be downhill from here? And men are, because if we keep going this way, men are literally going to just become useless zombies. Like, they're just going to be there. And who knows? The women might start dating robots over, like male robots over men, because at least they'll have some damn ambition and be getting stuff done. But so the question I have is, can this be reversed? And what do you think? Let's say the next 10 to 20 years, the outlook is for men. How's it looking for them?
Well, I'm, as an alpha male myself, I'm gonna talk to the men out there, to the boys out there, to the guys who they might be considered simps. This is what you have to do.
I'm gonna solo you in here.
Yeah, this is what you have to do. Basically, you have to stop watching all these girl flicks. Anything that they have this woman power stuff, don't even consider it. I was gonna watch what was that movie? Road Warrior or something like that. With it's called Furiosa. And it started out with a guy, and then the next movie was a guy. It was Mel Gibson, and then all of a sudden they started putting girls in. I was like, I'm not watching that anymore. I'm not supporting that stuff. If the women want to support it, fine. I'm not saying don't support it. I'm just saying, as a man, we can't stop watching all this women stuff. First of all, I again, I support the NBA. I don't support the WNBA because it's boring to me. Not that I'm against women, but as a man, men have to start watching man movies. We have to start watching what we do, not what women do. Let women watch what they do. We have responsibility to talk to men and let them know who we are as men, so they can emulate us, so they can see, oh, okay, this is what it is to be a man. If you're watching girl flicks and you're watching all this stuff with girls, that's what you're gonna emulate. So stop it. Just stop doing that, first of all. Second, men, we have to stay in the homes. A lot of these men are being raised by single women, single moms, and they're getting that femininity from them. They're getting that compassion from them. Compassion is not bad, but there's times for it. Men are becoming weaker in that sense because they're just not. They're starting to think like their mothers, and these men, they have to stay home. They have to stay home with these kids and raise these kids and let them know what a man looks like, what a man does, what that's all about. And last thing, when these guys go to the club, if you go to the gym, you see men, you see girls, don't worry about what you're doing. Just go in there and do what you got to do. These guys, a lot of these guys that go in and they look at the guys, lifting all this weight, they feel intimidated, like, I don't want to pick up this little weight, looking like a little punk. So they walk out. Have a plan. All these muscle guys, they all started with the same weight you're starting with. Just got to realize that you got to start from the bottom. You can't just get to a gym thinking that you're gonna start lifting heavy weights and you're gonna look like these guys. No, you'll eventually get there, but don't be swayed by what they're lifting and what these women are looking at, and then saying, well, you know what, I'm out of here because I can't compete with these guys. Compete. Always compete. If you compete, you will get further. If you don't compete, you will stay where you are. Simple as that. If you compete, you always have a chance. If you don't, your chances are done because you're not even in the game. So just men, let's get back to that competition. Let's get back to that. Yeah, who's coming in second? That's all I want to know. I'm in the competition, and you know what? If I come in second, fine. But my mentality is I'm going first. And just stop with this. When somebody's looking at me and this and that. Don't worry about that. Just keep building. You'll get there. If you don't, you're never gonna get there because you're gonna stay in place. So men, these three things I take to heart, and I live my life that way. I always support what we do before what women do, unless it's a mother or something like that that's more important. But as far as men, yeah, that's what we have to do in my opinion.
Yeah, no, all good points. And yeah, I think if more guys like us keep, coming out and saying F it and just being brave and not caring about, cameras or like you said, what other people think, and we just get on here and talk more to young men and boys and get
Yeah.
this message out, hey, it could spread. And really, we want to infect them with this mindset, because we have all nothing but good intentions for them. That's the
Absolutely.
thing. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So we got through that topic. We talked about Lily Phillips. We talked about these goddamn 21-year-old softies needing to harden up. Chuv just gave you the damn recipe to max your life out. You gotta replay that back as many times as you need to, and take those necessary steps, man. Apply what he just said into the areas of your life where you could apply him to. And this is a guy who's been through it. He's knows more than you. He's been around longer, experienced it all, wants good things for you.
Yeah.
So you're gonna get good results. It's the proof is in the pudding.
Us men, we got to stick together always, man. It's always got to be a manhood, and we all, I just want, what's best for every man and every woman. But I leave the women to the women.
Yep, and we can't. The reason why we do this, because we can't sugarcoat, is because we see the route that things are going, and it's not looking good. That's why we decided to get on here, because we have these conversations all the time, just in our regular private life, and we're like, yo, I think we could, create some value.
Yeah.
Some
So
value.
real quick, we got another 2 minutes. We got anything else, or we good to go?
Yeah. I was gonna do this drone thing, real quick, but
Yeah, 2 minutes. We can sum it up if we want to sum it up. If not, we can.
From what I said, and
let me play this real quick then. And
I just emailed you guys some. I emailed your producer Tony some documents that shows the claims that I'm saying. But back in the 80s, when
so he's gonna explain basically what happened with these drones. This is a guy who's well known as the podcast I watch. Basically, alternative media now does more views than CNN and all these damn, because you could trust these guys.
Let's pause it here because I really got to.
Oh, you gotta go quick. Okay, cool.
Yeah,
All right, so we'll save this for next time.
Okay.
I'll probably talk about this on my own one because I didn't get to it too much. But yeah,
Okay.
thanks for coming for this episode. We made it. We squeezed it in.
Yeah, everybody.
And yeah, like I said, guys, we're gonna be on consistent every week. We'll have the shorts out, and just look forward to the next episode, man. Come on, leave your comments and subscribe, and just we'll be around, man. Just all you gotta do.
Black&White 101. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. Give us the questions. Text us any comments you have. And let us know how you feel about it. But
Keep
at the end of the day, we're here to help.
Yep, here to help, and let's get it. Let's all progress and let's do it together, baby. Everybody have a good day. Peace.
Yeah. All right.